I'm classing the Prime Minister of New Zealand and her entire cabinet and government, her establishment of New Zealand Police, her Crown Law Office, her Ministry of Justice, her Ombudsman's Office, her Human Rights Commission, Privacy Commission, Health and Disability Commission, even her media. I'm charging them all. I want them all charged with attempted murder of my life and running it as an act of slavery and using fear and violence to actually carry out their crimes. Not an ounce of rehabilitation, not an ounce of medical and treatment needs. Taking my life on a different path to what it was supposed to go. All part of their vigilantism and their declared act of war on my life. You know, no matter which way you look at it, these people are going to hide behind fear and violence so they can control all of their victims' lives. It's part of their gaslighting. They call it gaslighting. I don't know where they came up with that idea. I call it state terrorism, abuse, threats, intimidation, violence, harassment, criminal harassment, stalking, slandering, labelling, defaming. Like only last night, I thought I had a stroke actually. Everything just went black. And can't move my neck. My neck's completely and utterly fucked. My arms are like two lead weights. Today again. My throat's gone. My ears are gone. That was over them pepper spraying me, and I was also given, prior to that, I was given, I had an infection in my ears, and they water blasted my ears, which caused, that caused a lot of problems with my sinuses as well, so the pepper spray didn't help it. So anyway, my throat's gone, everything's gone. My back's gone, my neck's gone. Can't do anything. And I just feel like they're murdering my life. They won't give me any address of the post-traumatic stress. I'm not going to get any rehabilitation or medical and treatment needs in this country because they took my life on the wrong path. They don't want to explain themselves. They don't take liability for anything. They don't take responsibility for anything. They just hide behind fear and violence, turn your life into a living hell, and then basically spoon feed you shit for the rest of your life. It's no different to kidnapping somebody and just feeding them 2 meals a fucking day. They're using a country to commit their crimes. Now, I can forfeit my rights, entitlements, rehabilitation, medical and treatment needs, as stated by Ruth Dyson many years ago. You can give up your entitlements without any further action being taken. And, you know, you don't have to seek assistance from ACC. It's a fucking joke. ACC doesn't assist anybody. The legislation's a load of shite. It's slavery, and it's all about you not being able to sue, or you have to ask them for permission to sue. That's going to cost you millions of dollars. Public-private criminal prosecutions, more millions of dollars. At the same time, they're destroying all the evidence of all their corruption and criminality. They're getting Queen's counsels to cover up their crimes. And then they're turning your life into a slave trade action and then trying to get rid of you for free. And then when that fails, they just turn it into a slave trade action all over again and then defraud you of 14% extra tax for the privilege of acting illegally and unlawfully with criminal intent. And then getting their judges then to cover it all up. It's a fucking joke. And then you've got an advocate who helped them do that as well. So here I am, the slave trade action of New Zealand that is run by terrorists. Now, the Prime Minister, according to the High Court, they wanted to take it to the High Court. She never read the emails. Surprise, surprise. But that's no excuse, because she knew exactly what was going on. And she knew exactly what they were doing. And she was well informed of my case well in advance of her taking office as Prime Minister. Now, she talks about kindness and empathy and everything else. Biggest load of shite. Kindness and empathy only applies for something that suits her purpose or has an international purpose for her to look good. This case won't make her look good. This case will destroy her entire fucking reputation, character, career. And in 1 second, she won't be seen as Mother Teresa. She won't be seen as Lady Diana. And she certainly won't be seen as fucking some supermodel. Bollocks to that. So anyway, yeah, I'm classing it as attempted murder, people. And that's why we're in court. And yeah, I'm still looking for, I've been writing to my lawyer over and over and over in relation to the PTSD. Now, what I was interested in, what I thought about when I was writing that email was, the judge said in court, you know, when all the TV cameras were there and he wanted a bit of publicity for himself, asshole. But I was nice enough. He let me off not having to appear in court again. That's because they don't want me to fucking hear what they have to say. But anyway, and then I asked the lawyer, when he appear in court. He never answered that. So I have no idea when they were appearing in court or what time or anything else. But But they did it all behind my back anyway. So, but what he said in court was psychological issues. He mentioned something about psychological issues, and I'm sitting there going, psychological issues? Where the fuck did the psychological issues come out of? You declare an act of war on my life, psychological issues. You try to have me killed in a prison, psychological issues. You tell everybody in a prison I'm in there for the most heinous of crimes that even I would kill somebody for, psychological issues. The stalking, harassment, criminal harassment of me and my family, psychological issues. You see, they can't say that I've got a brain injury or a mental illness, so now they're referring to psychological issues. Because I'm already proven sane twice. I'm already proven to not have a brain injury or a mental illness twice. And now they're coming out with comments like psychological issues. Fucking joke. These people are the biggest fucking shysters the world's ever come across. Honest to Christ. No, people, this needs to be addressed. And I can tell you all here and now. If I get found guilty, it's going to end in a last resort. I'm not going to take any fucking prisoners either. If I'm not guilty, then the government's going to have to put a Royal Commission of Inquiry on the table, and they're going to have to take responsibility for their corruption and criminality, which means they're all fucked. So it's really up to me and the court and what happens. So, but you got to do what you got to do. You know, the end justifies the means, and I don't think anybody's going to ever accept being a slave trade action to anybody. And I don't think anybody's going to have themselves held criminally to blackmail and ransom just because the government says, oh, that's the law. It's not the fucking law. The law was to restore my life to its former being, or the best it can be. And as everybody can see, the best I can be is dead. Restoring my life to its former being, well, I wasn't dead before that. So, literally, they turned it into a prisoner hostage and kept them home. Went, oh, your injuries are permanent. My injuries are not permanent. Death is permanent, people. And I don't think I'm dead yet. Not far off it, but I'm not dead yet. So nothing's permanent in life until you're dead. That's what you should remember. And all this bullshit is literally, they're telling you that your injuries are permanent. Now, you could have an injury 25 years ago and they'll say it's permanent. You could not have an injury yet, but if you have an injury tomorrow, they'll say it's permanent. It'll go along with the 25-year permanent injuries. That's just another way of looking at it. In other words, we're not going to pay the money or do the research or do the investigations or help, assist, support and protect you to restoring your life to the best it can be because it's too expensive for us. In other words, you're a slave trade action and the government is making money off you, treating you worse than a product on a shelf so they can get away with murder. Well, there's my take on it at the minute. And I'm sure all these videos will come to light at some point. And when they do, every last one of these fuckers running New Zealand, every last one of them deserves to be hanged because they are terrorists. And they are not running a democracy. They're running organised crime. They're nothing but mafia bosses and gangsters. And the extreme extent of that is they are state terrorists and suicide bombers and victims' lives. Their rule of law is the biggest load of shite. It's whatever suits their purpose at any given time. And that's just how they work in this Nazi-run country. And they don't like it because I stick it up their arse every time they open their mouth. They're the ones bringing all the violence into your life. And then after they've done all the harm and all the damage to your life, they simply shut up shop and say, fix it yourself at your own expense. Tens of millions of dollars to bring terrorists to account. Tens of millions of dollars to restore my life back to its former being that it was before they took control of it. To restore my good name and my reputation back to its former being, which they went out to destroy using their slavery-run actions and their Nazi-run actions and their declared act of war actions. They can fuck off. They're all going to pay for it, and the Prime Minister is responsible for the crimes that are being committed in this case and the crimes that have been committed in this case. And it was her job when she took office to investigate the crimes of previous governments, just like it was John Key's job and Bill English's job to investigate Helen Clark and the crimes that were committed. And that was under the Labour Party. John Key and Bill English and the National Party, they shut up shop and left it for Labour to do it all again. And then Jacinda comes in and decides, fuck Mr. Cruickshank. Well, fuck her too.